I am so sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but I was starting another story about my paranormal experiences in this old apartment I used to live in. Let me get back to that. So, like I said before that video suddenly ended, um, my bedroom doorknob used to wiggle, and it always started about the same time around 10 p.m. And I don't even know how long it would last. I never really kept track of this stuff because I always ignored these things. Like, I would just, if it goes to walk by me, I would just ignore it unless if I feel like I need to acknowledge it. So every night it kept happening. Door would wiggle. And at the time, I was not yet married to my current husband. We were dating, and he was in another state. So I'd be texting him, letting him know what was going on in my bedroom, and just kind of let him know, because some nights I would get scared and I'd just let him know, hey, my door is wiggling again, not sure what's going on, And then I'd do a little 5-second video and send it to him sometimes so he doesn't think I'm making stuff up. And I do have a video. I'll try and find it. I don't know if I still have it because it was recorded on the other phone I used to own, and I may have deleted all the memory off of that phone without saving that video. But I did take a video of the doorknob shaking constantly, and it happened every night. My bedroom door, only my bedroom door, the doorknob would literally wiggle and shake, and it would just do that until I fell asleep, and I would just ignore it. And at first I thought it was my neighbor upstairs, maybe running on the floor upstairs, making the door, that doorway wiggle, making the doorknob wiggle. I don't know. I was making up all these excuses, like, it has to be someone upstairs doing that somehow. And then as time went by, I noticed that there's nights where the doorknob didn't wiggle, and then I started looking at my door really good and making sure that the door was of sound structure and not loose or anything like that. So everything was good with the door. It was a perfect, good, strong door. So then I started thinking, well, now why does the door not wiggle at night? I mean, the whole door should wiggle, right, if the door is shaking? But no, this was just the doorknob. Just the doorknob would wiggle. And I always slept with my door halfway open. Well, not halfway open. I would sleep with the door slightly open, I should say. Not all the way closed, but just barely open. So I started leaving the door different positions at night. Some nights I would close the whole door, like, close my bedroom door, and the same thing happened. Other nights I would leave it slightly open. The same thing happened. And finally I accepted that there's a spirit living there, and it's always messing around with the doorknob, knows where I sleep. So I didn't really do anything about it. I don't know what people usually do. Maybe they call in, a priest or a church member or someone who's spiritual or religious to come in and do a blessing or prayer in the home. I didn't do that. I just lived with it. And there's times where I just would feel its presence when I'm in the kitchen or somewhere. I mean, there were other paranormal experiences while I was living there, and when it happened, I would just speak to it and say, hey, I know you're here. And other times I spoken to it and said stuff like, you're welcome here as long as you don't hurt my children or me, and don't scare me. And that's the way I would respond to it if it made some kind of noise or whatever. So, and one night I was laying there again, and as usual, the door started wiggling. The doorknob started wiggling. And this time I'm really paying attention to it. I'm looking at the doorknob and just thinking, how is it possible that this thing keeps coming back and doing that over and over? but I don't want to say nothing to it, you know? And so then all of a sudden, the doorknob stops wiggling, and the lamp in the corner of my room started to wiggle. And that was it. That did it. I got so scared, guys, like freaking scared. Like, the shaking went from the door to the corner of my room to the lamp that was standing in the corner. The lamp started to wiggle. And that's when I got up from bed and I said, oh, hell no. Don't scare me like that. Please stop that. Is what I said to it. And it stopped. And it never happened again. So, I've had other things happen